Welcome back to First Things First. Undisputed coming up in a few minutes. Joy, what are you and the guys talking about today?
Good morning, Jenna. Good morning, guys. Coming up on Undisputed, why did Josh McDaniels reject the Colts? Why did Tom Brady support Malcolm Butler? And why is LeBron staying in Cleveland? We'll discuss all of that. Plus, Mark Schlereth and Chris Broussard are in studio with us. Undisputed is coming up next. Jenna, back to you, Nick and Chris.
Sounds like a great show, Joy. Thank you. So yesterday we asked if the Cavs hit rock bottom. That was after they lost by 32 points to the Rockets. Well, last night the Cavs lost to the Magic, the worst team in the league. Also on our show yesterday, Chris Carter said the Cavs should ask LeBron to waive his no-trade clause before the deadline tomorrow. Well, after the game, LeBron was asked whether he would do just that. Take a listen.
I'm here for the long haul. I'm here for this season right now to try to, figure out ways we can still compete. I couldn't give up on my teammates like that. I couldn't do that. I just couldn't do it. We put too much into the game, every single day. We go out and prepare, even though win, lose, or draw. At the end of the day, we are brothers and we understand that. So, I owe it to my teammates to finish the season out, no matter how it ends up. So, I would never waive my no-trade clause.
Well, CC, you definitely started something. So if that's off the table, what is there left for the Cavs to do to try to fix themselves, right themselves?
The only thing they can do is trade the Brooklyn pick. Now, they're going to lose LeBron James, but they don't trade the Brooklyn pick, which they've decided they're not going to. They're not offering it to teams. They're offering their pick, which would be between 20 and 24 right now. They lost again, so it might be like 19 or something like that. But
it's not going to be a lottery pick.
No, it's not. The Cavs pick is not enticing enough. It's not a big enough asset, and they don't either have the assets on the roster that they tried to trade, or they got to look at IT or Kevin Love. Look at IT or Kevin Love, package them with the Brooklyn pick, and try to bring in someone that would keep LeBron in Cleveland. Right now, I don't believe they're going to do that. I don't believe they're going to make a significant trade, and they're going to lose LeBron to free agency in July. Like, this is not surprising to me. I thought there was a great chance with LeBron leaving, the way the season has not come together, based on all the things that we know now. Dan Gilbert taking over the team, managing the roster. LeBron not wanting them to trade Kyrie, telling them, hey, man, you got a contract with the guy. He's got 2 years left. Forcing the training camp. Don't let him go. No, they traded for him. Also, there's Dwayne Wade. When LeBron wanted Dwayne Wade, there were people in the building that did not want Dwayne Wade there. So I think those things will have led LeBron to, I'm going to give it my best shot. We don't do it, then I'm going to open up all options this offseason, which I believe there's only a slim chance that he stays in Cleveland. No chance if they don't trade the Brooklyn pick.
I think whether they trade the Brooklyn pick or not, I think the only way he stays in Cleveland is if they win the title. And to CeCe's point, the only way this team looks like it could possibly be good enough to win a title is acquiring an asset that it would probably necessitate trading away the Brooklyn pick. I explained ad nauseum yesterday why I think right now the Cavs holding on to the Brooklyn pick as if that is some life raft once LeBron leaves is absolutely categorically insane. Like right now, are people looking at, for example, the Chicago Bulls, like, hey, they have no superstar, they don't have any great young player, but don't worry, they've got the upcoming 6th pick of the draft, it'll fix everything next year? Of course not. But that Dan Gilbert has decided he wants to play fantasy general manager. He decided that when he didn't retain David Griffin, and then that error was compounded by the fact it didn't seem like it was crazy to not retain David Griffin in an offseason where it looked like our roster's locked in. Like, we didn't have any big free agents coming up. We didn't have any cap money to sign any major free agent. Like, what do I need to pay David Griffin this money for? But then Kyrie demanded a trade. And then they traded him contrary to what LeBron wanted. And then, amazingly, through kismet or the basketball gods, they had a chance to take that trade back. Isaiah Thomas failed his physical. Boston conceded he failed his physical, or else they wouldn't have given him additional compensation.
Right, and if you believe Dan Gilbert is running the team compared to their general manager, who several years ago was coaching in the Ivy League as an assistant basketball coach, now he's running one of probably the primetime spots as general manager of a team that LeBron James is on.
Right, Kobe Altman, the in-name only GM at the moment, no disrespect to him. And so they had a chance to take that trade back. LeBron told them to take that trade back. They didn't. And then what you Travis, the team was playing fine, despite the fact JR had been awful, Jay Crowder had been awful, and then IT comes in, and the season has gone to hell since then, on the court and off the court. If they don't make a trade, a significant trade, a trade that brings back a starter or two, a trade that involves the name DeAndre Jordan or Lou Williams or Kemba Walker, then it is organizational malfeasance, the likes of which we have not seen in the NBA since the league was running the New Orleans Hornets at the time. This is your window. This is your opportunity, and as we are seeing, by the way, the East is there to be had. And you mentioned earlier, CC, how tough the West is going to be. Whomever comes out of the West is going to have run through a gauntlet. The idea that with a few tweaks this team couldn't win the title, I reject. They still have the best player in the world. But if they stand pat at the trade deadline, what they are doing is they are trading LeBron James, except they're getting nothing for him in the offseason.
At this point, you have basically who do you have a value on the team to trade, right? You have Isaiah Thomas, who's not playing great at all. You have Kevin Love, who's injured, and you have this Nets pick. So even if you somehow found a way to pool all three of those together, what can you get back that can actually help your team?
They could get.
I mean, is that even a realistic thing that they would get rid of all three of those?
No, not all three. But if the Isaiah Thomas's value is the expiring contract. Same with Channing Frye's value. It's the fact that they're an expiring contract coming off the books. Those two guys, plus what I think you need one more salary, maybe Chetty Osman to make it work, plus the Nets pick. Get you Kemba Walker. You're instantly better. But they, as CeCe mentioned, Dan Gilbert don't want to trade the Nets pick. I don't know why. He thinks it's their future, but he doesn't want to trade the Nets pick.
Who do you blame for all these problems? Is it more Dan Gilbert? Is it more the team? Or is it more LeBron James?
Well, I have to spread it out. And LeBron's always going to get a piece of it. So I would say LeBron gets about 10% of it. The overall collection of JR, IT, not playing well, Crowder, that's probably about 20%, and 70% Dan Gilbert, because some of these things he had direct control over. The Kyrie thing. LeBron said bring him to training camp. Like, I wouldn't have traded him. I've been said the Kyrie trade was bad. Like, because you have a franchise, I mean, this guy, he's not just an all-star. How he plays the game is totally different. And, Nick, you always bring up those times that LeBron can be on the court but rest on the court.
Yeah.
Kyrie could take over offensively. And it doesn't equate to a certain stat, but we know in playing the game is physically and mentally a lot easier when you have someone who can go out and you can call his number and he can just get buckets.
And we know the NBA Finals stage and the Golden State Warriors are not too big for Kyrie.
Yes, and we didn't know that before.
Right.
You know, so he had proven that. And LeBron, with lack of proven players, lack of that grit that you need, the grit that LeBron appreciates with Kevin Love, the grit that LeBron appreciates with Tristan Thompson. Not that they're perfect players, but they have been through battles together. And that's the biggest problem with Crowder and IT, that they haven't been through these things with LeBron.
All right, so obviously I feel Dan Gilbert deserves an enormous amount of the blame. I give LeBron credit, by the way, for not waiving his no-trade clause. I can report with 100% certainty there is a team that is an NBA title contender that inquired about LeBron, that would like to get LeBron, and they were told the same thing. Listen, he's not leaving Cleveland during the year. He could abandon this ship. He could say he could waive that no-trade clause and abandon this ship, and the Cavs could get something back for him. He's going to stay there. I want to talk about, though, a player on this team that's supposed to be a star. Can we show the numbers, if we could? One of my favorite things, a blind reveal. Here's two basketball players. Guy on the right's averaging more points, but the guy on the left, amazingly, is actually shooting a better percentage, much better percentage from three, and has a just slightly higher PER. For example, by the way, a 15 PER is league average, so they're both below in that. Who are these two people? Leave that up for a moment. Look at those shooting percentages. It's Lonzo Ball.
I don't care who the other guy is, but when Ball's in the graphic, now we haven't even talked about him in at least a month.
The reason I'm bringing it up is, what was the knock on Lonzo? Yeah, he actually was defending well this year. Get your rebounds, get you assists.
But he
cannot shoot
the ball.
Isaiah Thomas shooting 7% worse from three than Lonzo was. Lonzo, who people think might be shooting with the wrong hand. Like, That's who he's been this year. Oh, yeah,
Yes.
and by the way, he's the worst defensive player in the league. Oh, yeah, and by the way, he attacks Kevin
I feel
Love.
like when I brought this up, you guys said, hey, he's back 12, 13, 14 games. He's going to need a little more time than that to feel better and to get his legs under him.
I think he still needs more time to maybe get his legs under him. But I don't think he should have needed a month to learn how to shoot again. It wasn't an elbow injury. It wasn't a shoulder injury. I
This
don't.
is the thing. When you're a small player, your lower extremities affect you more so than other players. Like, he can't get to the basket. All right? He stays on the floor. He doesn't have the legs. It would have to be the hip because the way it's affected his overall ability to score the basketball. IT can score the ball. Now, if you think that you're watching the same IT, like, it's not a mental problem. It's a health thing. He is not physically as explosive as we're used to seeing.
The mental problem is this. He is still playing as if, as far as a volume of shots, and talking as if he's a star player. And it's hard to hear IT say, we go our separate ways when things go wrong. Hey, Kevin Love, were you actually sick? When you've been the worst player on the team. Now, there's reason that he's been the worst player on the team, and maybe he will get better. But it's hard to hear the message from that guy when IT talks about how bad the defense is when he's been the worst defensive player in basketball for 2 years now.
We have to go.
Yes.
Awesome show. Love
Very
hanging out with
fun.
you guys. Have a great night. We'll see you back here tomorrow at 6:30 Eastern. Stay right here. Undisputed starts right now.